The Marvelettes wanted for Berry Gordy to jump in and shake Wanda and say, hey, pull yourself together. We about to put you in some kind of rehab to get you together. Baby, if they didn't do it for David Ruffin, they damn sure ain't gonna do it for Wanda. Oh, my life, bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NAROB on YouTube. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, y'all, this is our last week of the Marvelettes. Remember, every Saturday we upload a chapter or so of the book Bling. That's the Erica Kennedy book that exposes the industry. Now, I can't tell you what time it'll be uploaded. I just know that when I wake up, feed the dogs, talk to my sister, get settled in, and eat a little something, I read and then I upload. Okay, so if you all haven't checked out the Bling playlist yet, why don't y'all go on over there and do it? It's a pretty cool book. It's fictional based on fact. We be over there trying to figure out which character is who. Okay, now, like I said, this is the final week of the Marvelettes by Mark, what is his name? Taylor. In the spring of 1968, the Marvelettes followed with Here I Am, Baby, again written and produced by Robinson and originally recorded by Barbara McNair a year earlier during her brief tenure at Motown. The Marvelettes' version of Here I Am, Baby peaked at number 14 on the Billboard R&B chart and number 44 on the pop listing. Later that summer, Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson took a break from their collaboration with Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell to write and produce Destination Anywhere for the Marvelettes. Well, that's an honor for Ashford and Simpson to write a song for you. That's an honor. All three songs were featured on an album entitled Sophisticated Soul, released August 26, 1968. A fourth single was I'm Gonna Hold On As Long As I Can, produced by Frank Wilson and featuring Ann on lead. Despite Sophisticated Soul containing 5 singles that charted, the LP only reached number 41 on the Billboard R&B album chart and missed the pop album chart entirely. If the Berry Gordy wasn't done with you before, he done with your ass now. The Marvelettes by now were used to no longer being a priority at Motown and not receiving adequate promotion for their albums. Yet the group had always remained etched in the minds of music fans due to their constant touring. Unfortunately, at this time, internal problems heightened, which led to the Marvelettes slipping from public sight as a performing group. Catherine explains Wanda was into drugs. You really couldn't tell her anything. There was the thought that things just were not right and she would fire the girl that dressed us, and then I would have to talk to her and get her to come back to the group. That's because that booger sugar gives you paranoia. The guitar player, she fired him. And I would always have to be the mediator of her firing all of these different people because of the fact that it just wasn't right. First of all, she ain't got no power to fire nobody. She don't nobody. She don't pay them. They ain't making no money. So it's Motown that's paying them. It's like the Motown potluck. We've talked about this before. All Motown money used to go into a pot. And they used to pay for everything out of that pot. That's why the Supremes ain't get a whole lot of money. That's why all these... Now, the first person who put their hand in the pot was the Gordy family now. But all the money went into a pot. It wasn't like all of them were paying for their own shit. They ain't had no hits. I was tired of the arguments between her and other people. Not necessarily between her and myself, because she didn't want to go there. Our wardrobe mistress. Her name was Jeanette, and she was Wanda's sister-in-law. Wanda was going through a lot of changes with her husband, Bobby, and Jeanette would be caught in the middle of it, even though she had nothing to do with their relationship. That's why I was like, Bobby Rogers. Wasn't he a cheater? Wanda would be going off way out into left field with everybody that was working for us, and I would have to keep it together, and it became entirely too nerve-wracking. After a while, you didn't know if she were going to perform or not. There were a couple of times that we'd get all the way to the gig and she wasn't going to do the gig. I would choke the blood out that bitch. You fucking with our money. We had a contractual agreement that we had to honor. Therefore, we had gotten another girl that could fill in because we never knew if Wanda was going to show up or if she wasn't. There had to be somebody there because Wanda would just go off and she wouldn't show up. She was Jekyll and Hyde in the last years. We had begun to look at another girl to take Wanda's place. Anna and I were going to sing most of the songs. She didn't work out because she just didn't have it. In early 1969, Wanda would encounter a personal tragedy that would have a profound effect on her for more than 3 decades. Girl, she witnessed her sister getting murked. Tragically, okay? But the issue was, Bobby Rogers said, yes, that was a tragic event, baby. Believe me, I know it would be a tragic event. But Bobby Rogers said that she had some issues long before that happened. So if she was already struggling, could you imagine what happened to her after that situation? Bobby Rogers, who at the time was married to Wanda, says, I think Lamona's death, that's her sister, had an effect on Wanda. But I think something else happened to her. Sometime when she was in Europe, she was different. A couple of things happened and it was like she had changed. Her friends had become her enemies and her enemies became her friends. She took on a totally different thing. Wanda was a nice person. She was really nice. She just got sick along the way, mentally. Time was beginning to run out on the Marvelettes, but Motown still got an album out of them as part of its fall release in 1969, entitled In Full Bloom. During the run of In Full Bloom, problems with the Marvelettes began to take its toll. The group was no longer touring and Motown was focusing its efforts on Diana Ross's solo career, the newly discovered Jackson 5, and moving its headquarters from Detroit to Los Angeles. Consequently, the company paid little attention to the Marvelettes, and the group soon disbanded without any farewell tour or official announcement. Things just phased out, claims Catherine. Well, that's what the Berry Gordy wanted. The internal problems that we had, I had taken them to our management, which was also a subsidiary, And I don't really know if she took it any further than that. Maybe they figured they could handle it themselves, or whatever the case may be. Management was a separate entity, a different avenue than recording. I don't know if our management took it to the head of that department. They probably didn't, because Berry Gordy had a talk with them already about y'all. I'm through with them. They no good to us no more. Get rid of them. Shoot, go away. I don't want to deal with it. That lead singer, she a junkie. I wrote a note, more or less, asking for help. Basically, I wanted to get it to Barry, and I don't know if it ever did reach him. When there was no help to be gotten, I just figured that our time had come. This is what she felt. You see that Wanda is over there and she's a junkie. The Marvelettes wanted for Berry Gordy to jump in and shake Wanda and say, hey, pull yourself together. We about to put you in some kind of rehab to get you together. Baby, if they didn't do it for David Ruffin, they damn sure ain't gonna do it for Wanda. It's like, I understand her wanting to believe, and want the company to do something about Wanda's drug use. But if they wouldn't do it for David Ruffin, they damn sure ain't doing it for Wanda. If she could have gotten help at the time, then perhaps she would have been able to have been drawn back into reality for what was going on. But she didn't get help at that time. And later in years, they tried to get help for her, but then it was too late. When a person has a mental health problem, you need to address that right off the bat rather than let it go on for years and then try to help. Then it's too late. Hey, wait a minute, mental health. Okay, listen. Berry Gordy is known to drive a bitch crazy. That's what they do over there. They put people in the crazy house over there. That's what they do. Remember when Donna Ross had her nervous breakdown on stage? That's what they do. Motown put you in a crazy house. It's fun to them. Don't mess with Bill. I remember visiting her home after a gig, and in just trying to talk to her, there just wasn't any talking to her. When I was sitting down talking to Wanda, she just got up and left the room. I'm figuring that she's going to get something so we can continue on with our conversation. Wanda had gone upstairs and had taken a shower. She came back downstairs and wanted to know who had been smoking a cigar. Well, there was nobody in her house but she and I. So I said, nobody's smoking anything because you're here and I'm here, but nobody's smoking a cigar. But she insisted that someone was, and she talked about people coming in and putting wires around her door where they could listen in on her conversations, and cameras that someone had placed all in her home. That was the last time I went by to see Wanda. When I left her house that day, I knew that she was gone. She had gone so far out the box that I just couldn't handle seeing someone go that far. Catherine went on to a life of fulfillment and contentment outside of show business and never considered a return to the entertainment industry. She points out, I never did see the handwriting on the wall that the group was breaking up, but I knew that it was going in a totally different direction, and that direction was not good for the group. Anne Bogan went on to sing lead with an RCA trio with two males called Love, Peace, and Happiness, which itself was part of a larger group, The New Birth, Inc. Her worldly monologue and soulful fervor were the catalyst for Love, Peace, and Happiness, scoring a minor R&B hit in the summer of 1972 with a cover version of Gladys Knight and the Pips, I Don't Want to Do Wrong, a tune ironically co-written by Catherine. However, Anne gave up the road to raise her family shortly before New Birth had their breakthrough in 1973 with the remake of Bobby Womack's I Can Understand It and Buffy St. Marie's Until It's Time for You to Go. Smokey Robinson had long wanted to do a solo project with Wanda, and his idea was a collection of older Motown songs that were B-sides or had otherwise been overlooked. Although the album was a solo outing for Wanda with the Andantes serving as background vocalist, Wanda's name did not have marketing value.